Welcome to the Fuquay-Varina Youth Football and Cheer Program. We'll begin our presentation momentarily. Please note the entire presentation is on loop, and we will post it on our website at the conclusion of this evening's events. Thank you, and hopefully you find this informative.
Hi, my name's Stacy Smith. I'm one of the directors of the Strong Center and one of the commissioners of the Fuquay football program. We welcome you to the season. We're going to spend a little time letting you see some of our team and give you a little bit of information about our program. We look forward to a strong season, and we're glad you're a part of our team. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Stacy Smith again. Tonight we're going to cover a little bit about the Strong Center, a little bit about Fuquay-Varina Youth Football and Cheer, how we work with USC Football, have a little bit of information from our cheer head coach, Kelly Prestopino, our Mini Mite head coach, Ryan Toney, our Mighty Mite head coach, Napoleon Mills, and our head coach for the Pee Wee program, Scott Fowler, as well as some closing remarks. Once again, this will be on loop. If you have covered a section before, feel free to quietly get up and walk out. We'll also have a short video in between the end of this presentation and before we start the next presentation. And certainly grab any of our coaches and our team moms if you have any questions that's not covered by this presentation. Thank you for coming tonight, and I hope you find this informative. Thank you. The Fuquay-Varina football program is part of the Strong Center for Excellence. It is our parent organization. The Strong Center for Excellence was formed in late 2012 as a 501c3 nonprofit by Danny Strong, shown to the right in this picture. Also in the picture is Thomas Jones, also one of our board members, very involved in the basketball side of the organization. Our mission is to empower youth to maximize their potential through athletics, academics, and through character. As mentioned previously, the Strong Center hosts football and basketball travel teams each year, including skills training for basketball year-round and spring football skills training, flag football in the spring, and recreational basketball leagues in both the fall and the summer. We strive to make a difference in our community through our outreach services, including the athletics, but also in academics, tutoring, mentoring, and interviewing. We seek out like-minded coaches each season to help with our programs. And if you have further interest in getting more involved in the Strong Center, please let us know. Strong Center Cares. The Strong Center Cares is our effort to promote community involvement and volunteerism. We want to build a spirit of community within everything we do. So our Strong Center Cares program is just a simple reminder to try to do good deeds as you see availability, involvement in volunteering events, community events, perhaps with your church, or just simple things like holding a door open for somebody. Whenever you recognize one of these events, take a snapshot, post it on social media, and tag Strong Center Cares. So again, through our social efforts that we promote and show that this is part of what we want to be about in a give back. If you have any questions, please feel free to grab us. Thank you. About 7 years ago, we began the football affiliation with the Strong Center. At that time, we established the mission to provide a quality youth football program with a team focus that stresses progressive development each and every participant through knowledge, skills, fitness, fun, and sportsmanship with a competitive spirit within our Fuquay-Varina community and surrounding areas. This is the mission that we hopefully all strive to each and every season. Similar, when we began the affiliation with the Strong Center, we created a vision to be the coveted youth football organization in Eastern North Carolina. Please note that the vision talks about a coveted program, that being a key part of our focus. We believe a coveted program is a program that people can count on, that other programs would like to emulate, and that our participants want to be involved in each and every year. We move away from things like elite, select, etc. So again, as we look towards how we operate each and every day, we want to continue to carry that coveted aspect and do the right things each day, knowing that all the right things will lead to our success as individuals and as organizations. So our program objectives, as you can see here, begins with safety. We feel our connection with USA Football helps be on top of and aware of all of the newest and changes to techniques presented in football, such as heads-up football, and the awareness of all of the health and safety aspects of dehydration, sudden cardiac arrest, other things such as the pre-participation physicals. We want to make sure that the kids are prepared to play each year, and that our coaches are aware of the concerns that we have, so that everyone can play as healthy and as safe as we can in the game of football. Sportsmanship is one of those aspects of the game that goes without saying. We want to honor our opponent, and we want to have healthy competition and play the game in an honorable fashion. Positive competition. We want these kids to go to places that they didn't know they could go. We want to do that through encouragement. We'll find that we have many aspects of motivation for each kid, and the coaches will work to try to find that formula. But we want to do it in a positive fashion, and we want to be doing the right things every day that will lead us towards success. It's not about the win, although that's certainly our goal, but we want to be doing the right things to get ourselves there, and that happens beginning at practice, through reps, through involvement, and through encouragement, and through the responsibility of the player to listen, hear, give the effort, and be a part of the team. We also recognize that family engagement is important, that there is a triangle of the coach, the player, and the parent. And we want to work with the parents to not have them involved in coaching the game, but to be able to have a place for feedback. If you have concerns about the progression of your child in the sport, we have many ways for the parent to ask questions or to get feedback or so forth. And that'll be through our team moms, our head coaches, our administration. We are open to providing that feedback, but again, we want it to be done in the right ways. We want that to be done after practice and after games, at a time that we can reflect on what's best for the participants and our players. Fun. We want to make sure that we don't get so caught up in everything that we forget about the main reason we play sports is fun. We think that there's a structure and discipline to having fun. Everybody has to work together, and that is one of the greatest aspects of football and cheer, is working as a team, and we find that is going to be the fun, not running around and horse playing. We're going to be focused on coming together as a team and watching the success of that team to be part of the fun of the program. Lastly, player development. Each practice, we're going to be working on circuits, individual skills. Then we come to some skeleton offense, skeleton defense, and then ultimately team. We recognize in each and every day that we want to have kids get as many reps as they can. We want to see more opportunities for them to go through their individual skills, and we recognize that each of those skills lead towards team success. And the thing that hopefully you'll hear throughout the season, to do your job. And if everybody focuses on doing their job, the team comes together, and we will find success. But again, this starts with the individual player development, and these are the things that, as a parent, you really want to see is the individual working, giving the effort, and getting a little bit better every season. And certainly that includes both their athletic ability, but their IQ for the game. Beginning this Monday, July 29th, we begin our football journey. We'll be practicing at Fuquay-Varina Elementary School, shown in the picture here, which is located at 6600 Johnson Pond Road. We will practice every day the first 2 weeks. Week 1 will be helmets the first 2 days. The third and fourth day will be helmet and shoulder pads, and on day 5 will be full pads but no contact. As everybody has received their equipment, you may have received the wrong size, a helmet that doesn't fit the same way, many things that we want to work out through this first week. So don't be discouraged. We will make sure that each and every participant is as comfortable as we can make them. And we will make sure that we get you the right size equipment. And if that includes ordering additional equipment, we are committed to making sure that everybody is ready for gameplay. Now, if you find yourself a latecomer to our program, please give us some additional time, as everybody out there is ordering equipment right now. And if you miss some of our early June orders, it may take a few weeks. We have extra jerseys and extra pants that we can help supplement during that time to make sure that we're there. But again, we'll certainly come to the right end. As you can see here, the second week, we will begin contact. This will include full pads, and this is predominantly how you'll dress the rest of the season, and we'll do that throughout the week. Once we get to the third week, we'll now move to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday practice. Many times Friday is sometimes a little bit shorter, and then sometimes the coaches may elect to go light dress, being no padded pants. Important note, to begin practice on Monday, we will have to have a sports physical. If you have a special circumstance, please let us know, but there will need to be some sports physical in place. We have some forms. We also accept any of the school forms, or certainly even notes from the doctor. But please have that ready on Monday, if not sooner. And then also be looking forward to your photo ID. The East Wake Football League requires a government-issued ID, either a state-issued ID, federal-issued ID, or a military-issued ID to practice or to play games. So if you haven't gotten that yet, we'll need that before the first game, or you will not be able to participate. Copies are not acceptable. However, the certified copy that you receive from the DMV will be acceptable in your first season. I think that covers it. Oh, yep. Note here that in the field section below, the minis practice on the far end of the field, the mighties in the middle, and the peewees on the opposite end. Once the season gets a little bit further along, we'll be having lights on one side. Generally on the left side of the picture here is where parents will sit. We'll have our concession trailer available for team moms, questions, spirit wear, etc. Our first aid will be on the right side of the field, and we'll ask the kids to put their water on the right side of the field. During practice, we'd like to see the kids work and engage with their coaches and not spend a lot of excess time with parents because they need to learn their team and their coach. Additionally, parents are not allowed on the field. If you find yourself on the field, don't be surprised if somebody doesn't ask you to move back to the side and be with the parents. We want to give the coaches the full run of the field. Independent parents, if you have questions, feel free to ask administration or wait till after practice, and then the coaches can talk with you, or again, certainly you can send emails or notes back to us. All right, so that gets us through our first couple weeks of football. All right, as we mentioned, we begin our season on July 29th, Monday. We will be spending the first couple weeks getting acclimated to coaches, teams, equipment, heat, etc. And by the third week, we'll start to fall into our normal practice schedule. And in that third week, we're getting ready for our second annual Bengal Jamboree. We've hosted this event last year. It was successful. We see that we're going to have quite a big turnout this year again down in Angier. Looks like we have 40 teams attending. This will be about, for the 8U, 10U, 12U, about 10 teams in those groups. And then our fifth quarter games will be a little less number of teams, and the same with a 14U division. Although we don't have a 14U division, we offered it to complement some other organizations that were coming into the area. Probably more information than you wanted to know, but that's hopefully how we roll. August 24th, we've got an exhibition game planned with the East Carolina Youth Football League. We don't quite know who that's going to be yet, and it's going to include us traveling east, but we're looking to adjust the game schedule so that we can perhaps play a little bit earlier in the day, so that it's neither us driving out early in the morning or having to come back too late at night, and we'll keep you posted. All right, we will not play on Labor Day weekend. Once we get back from Labor Day, then we move right into our East Wake Football League schedule. As you can see, we'll have a couple games away at Henderson and at Clayton, and then we have 4 games in a row that will be home, with Fuquay-Varina High School being under construction the next couple years. We're hoping to go to Willow Springs High School, but that did not work out, so now we're looking to solidify a spot at Harnett Central High School. Hope to see us finish that work up next week. We have some meetings with the school, and they have preliminarily said yes. So we're excited to be able to play at Harnett Central, and I know there's quite a few of members of our teams that will ultimately go to that high school. So looks like a good place to play, and Harnett County has been great support. We'll finish up the season with 2 away games and 1 open date away with Cleveland, who's a conference opponent, and then South Granville, which is a non-conference. The playoffs will roll right into that right after the last games of the season. The top 2 in each conference, and you can see some of this on the East Wake Football League's website, but the top 2 teams in each conference qualify for the playoffs, yet you also have to be at least a 500 record, and then once you qualify, then there's some criteria as to how we get seeded. Our teams have done very well. Last season, all 3 of our teams at least made it to the semifinals. with the Mini Mites advancing to the championship and winning. So we hope to see that again this season. Sometimes we'll play postseason tournament. This is commonly referred to as a Turkey Bowl, and that happens the week of Thanksgiving, Friday and a Saturday. Again, we've done it in Clayton. There are other opportunities, and we may elect to do that as an organization. We may elect to do that as a team, but we just kind of see how the season goes. But as you can see, we have a very full schedule and lots of opportunity for play, and a lot of opportunity for these kids to get a lot of time on the field. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Swinson. I'm the head team mom this season for the football program. I'm happy to meet everyone and look forward to seeing you out at practice soon. I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk about the team moms. So each team will have a group of moms that are helping with all activities related to football and trying to help the coaches. So during the preseason, we're helping with equipment sizing, equipment packing and pickup, and we're working with each of you as parents to receive all of the documents and photo IDs that will help us create player roster cards that are used during each game that we play this season. During practice, we'll be around selling spirit gear and also work with each of you as a liaison between us, you, and the coaches. We'll take your questions and be able to receive any feedback that you would like to have get back to each of your coaches. On game day, we can participate in anything from weigh-in. The mini moms are definitely a lot busier. We are on the field helping with water, tying shoes, getting players to the sidelines, and helping with halftime snacks. And for the Mighty and Pee Wee moms, they're less involved but still needed to help the coaches count plays for each of the players as well as halftime snacks. Throughout the season, we will have multiple volunteer opportunities. We'll start with a high school cleanup day. Anyone who comes to that day will have a registration fee discount. During that high school cleanup day, we'll do everything from helping paint part of the facility, mowing, and any general cleanup that's needed at our home football field location. We'll also be hosting a jamboree this year. This will be our second year in a row that we're hosting, and we're looking for all types of volunteers throughout the full day of activity, anything from first aid to field crew, keeping track of the time for each game, registration and checking in, as well as our concessions. All of the volunteer opportunities are going to be set up in Sign Up Genius, and each will have a link sent before the opportunities so that you can sign up for any of the activities that you are interested in. We'll also be looking for volunteers on our home game days. We like to try to put on the best experience that we can for our players and our visitors. And during that day, we'll have volunteer opportunities that include setup before the games, making sure that we have trash pickup taken care of. We have volunteers that are on the field working the chains throughout each of the games, as well as scoreboard. One of the other items that we are always looking for is to leave the facility like we found it. So we do want to make sure that we have a cleanup crew available at the end of each of the games.
Our football program works hard to communicate with all of our participants in a number of ways. As you can see here, we have a number of resource links through websites, social media, the league website, text alerts, and our Google Calendar. certainly, you should all be aware of our fuquayfootball.com. We try to remain transparent and share as much as we can about our organization, including needed documents, etc. The same with East Wake Football League website. Our rules are posted, other sort of policies and guidance documents, as well as our season standings and playoff. So again, please go see these sites. If you are not a social media person, you can also look through the portal at our fuquayfootball.com website and still get a chance to see what's being posted and shared. Typically, our means of communication is going to be through email when we're doing more overall program discussions. We usually post those same notices on Facebook. However, once we get into more emergency situations, such as trying to deal with weather conditions or moving to fields that we've not been to before, I strongly encourage each and every person to sign up for rainout.com, which is our text alert system. It's one of those where you text to a number and it'll link you, and then again you'll get it as soon as we post it if we have to cancel practice or what have you. For the longer term schedule, we have Google Calendar. Also suggest you go in there and add it to your personal calendar, and you'll have all of our games, our practice schedule, and any other events that we do throughout the season, such as the Christmas parade and the end of the season banquet. But if you have any questions in connecting with these things, please let us know. But again, that rainout.com or the text alert system, I think is a very important part of staying on top of those emergency changes. Thank you. All right, our football program, we carry a lot of community spirit, and just wanted to throw a couple other items in here for you to be aware of. All practices and certainly games, home games, we're going to have a concession trailer. You will see that this evening. It's well blazoned, Strong Center and Fuquay football, but it's where we have our hats, shirts, stickers, other sort of promotional items available. So if you're interested, please stop by the trailer or check in with one of the team moms. Each season we'll do an online donation campaign. Our program runs about $350 to $400 per kid. And as you can see, the registration, there's a little bit of a gap, and we fill that gap through some of our online donation campaigns and our program sponsorships. If we are lucky enough to have any sort of excess in our donation drives, that goes into our futures account, because we do hope one day to have our own fields, and we have been able to grow that count a little bit each season. If you find yourself in need of equipment, if you would like your own helmet, own shoulder pads, or even additional pants, etc., please come talk to us, because we're going to be able to do that cheaper than you're going to be able to get it anywhere else through our wholesale discounts with our suppliers, and we're happy to pass that right back on to you in the program. So ask one of the team moms, talk to myself, Coach Smith, or Coach Melia, and we'll try to get you connected. Sponsorships, we're always looking for our community organizations that are interested in helping out our program. We have a sponsorship page on the website. Certainly ask one of our team moms or administrators to direct you if you can't find it. But again, matching gift programs. Again, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and everything helps build towards our kids and our community, and we could use your help. Please note, at the end of the season, we'll have a program survey. We have found that to be very helpful in making adjustments to our program, from the parents' perspective to how we run game day to how we run practices to all of our features. So whenever you see that come out, please help us and take some time and give us some feedback, and we can handle the good with the bad. And then we also have a suggestion box. So if you just want the good old-fashioned way of scribbling some thoughts down on a piece of paper, drop it in the box at the team or the concession trailer. Any other questions? Feel free to email us, come talk to us, let us know. We want to hear from you. Thank you. Okay, parents, let's talk about you guys a minute. We have codes of conduct for all of our participants in our program, but I wanted to highlight the parent code of conduct because we find that we have lots of energy and have lots of opinions about officials and coaches and players and so forth, and we ask you to continue to be positive. Many years I will just simply to roll this up and say, parents, please don't be insane. We need to stay sane out there because, again, the officials are going to make bad calls. The coach may call some wrong plays. It may just be a whole different situation that you see differently from the stands. And we want to maintain our composure and our sportsmanship throughout. Again, continue to be positive, continue to cheer, continue to be have the energy that we count on our teams to have every year, but try to keep it in perspective, because at the end of the day, we want our kids to have a good time. And you all see these situations where parents get out of control or the coaches get out of. We just don't need that. This is a program that we're going to be positive, and we're going to represent ourselves in a positive manner no matter what we encounter from the other side. So just think a little bit about this as you go into the season, and we'll work through it together. We've been able to do it year in, year out, and I'll count on you to do the same. All right. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mallory Goodnight.
And I'm Julie Dunaway, and we are going to be your safety coaches for the Bengals this year.
Look forward to seeing everybody on the field.
Mallory and I are going to highlight some of the important aspects of our safety program, including dehydration, concussions, and the weather. To start, I'm going to talk about dehydration. It's important to have your child drink water throughout the day, not just at practice. We want to make sure your child has enough water at practice, so please make sure your child brings their own water bottle to each practice and each game. We will have large containers of water available at practice and at games if needed or as a backup. Signs of dehydration are, or things to look for would be urine color. The darker the urine, the more dehydrated your child might be. If your child has a dry mouth or is not producing tears.
Obviously, concussions is something we would all like to avoid this season. USA Football is big on concussion prevention, and we'll be watching a video of that further in the presentation. If there's any concerns from Julie or I or any of the coaches for a head injury, either at practice or in games, your child will be pulled off the field and be assessed for concussions. A few of the signs and symptoms to look out for could be headache, dizziness, blurred vision, difficulty thinking, memory loss, sensitivity to noise, light, vomiting are all things we'll be looking and assessing for. If we think it could be a little serious, we'll get the parents involved if needed. If we think they're good to go back out and play, we will find you and just give you a quick thumbs up or a wave to let you know they're fine.
Weather is another important safety factor that we have to deal with each season. If we know bad weather is approaching, our entire staff will be assessing the weather and the field conditions, and a call will be made by 4 p.m. via text alert and social media. Fuquay Arena football will play and practice, rain or shine, given good field conditions and no lightning. Depending upon the weather, if happening during practice or during a game, we will continuously be watching the radar closely to make decisions accordingly. If you at any time have any questions for Mallory and I, please come grab one of us. We will now watch a short video on USA Football.
Heads Up Football is a comprehensive approach to a better, safer game.
Heads Up Football is a great program because it's bringing, number one, how we want to block, tackle, and play the game of football with our head and our eyes up.
Heads Up Football is an exciting program. We want to make sure and support it.
I've had youth coaches come up to me and say, Coach, I'm just a youth coach. And I stop them right there and say, listen, you're as important or more important than I am.
The efforts of USA Football are critically important to make the game better.
We launched a pilot program in 2012. We had 3 locations across the country. At the end of 2014, we expect more than 50% of youth leagues across all 50 states to join us.
Number one, USA Football has done a tremendous job of really educating a lot of the youth league coaches. I know at our camp we follow the guidelines USA Football teaches.
So what is Heads Up Football? It starts with every coach being certified through our nationally accredited coaching course. From there, we train a league's player safety coach who assesses and verifies that coaches comprehend the program's 4 pillars: equipment fitting, concussion awareness, heat and hydration, and heads-up tackling.
Never has there been a greater responsibility for coaches to get it right and to teach the right technique.
When you teach a young kid how to tackle, you teach him how to tackle the right way at an early age, he will always do it.
Commissioners, they care immensely about their coaches, about their parents, about the players in their respective leagues. They want to provide a better, safer experience. They need to work with USA Football and the Heads Up Football program to do that.
I would say this, is to only, as a parent, allow your child to play when you know that that USA Football certification is there for the coach and that you know that he's being taught the proper fundamentals of the game.
Heads Up Tackling is going to continue to help our game improve.
Heads Up Football has 4 steps. First, we want to identify a player safety coach in every organization. This is a person that has credibility amongst the coaches, amongst the parents, someone that's striving to be a leader and really wants to be part of the changing of the culture of football.
I think all high school and youth coaches should adopt Heads Up Football so we know what our young people are learning.
Well, I don't think there's anything more important to the game than the safety of the participants. And we're all in this together.
The second step is the player safety coach and the coaches work together to assess and verify that they understand proper equipment fitting, concussion management, and heads-up tackling.
If there's any gray area whatsoever, if a young man has a concussion, as we like to say, when in doubt, sit him out.
Step 3 is the moment where the player safety coach and the coaches bring the parents and the players together in what we call the Heads Up Football Safety Clinic.
It's not just, the coaches doing it. You yourself, you can be involved with the clinics and everything else.
Utilize the opportunity to protect our game for future generations by educating yourselves, using USA Football and the Heads Up program.
My son was 8, coming home with all these stories about football. I knew nothing of it. So went online, Googled how to learn football, and I found USA Football. I registered as a parent, and I became a certified coach, and then I was able to understand football and make sure what the coaches were teaching my kid, who spent so much time with my kid, that they were doing it right.
And we show them heads-up tackling. They will be part of the solution.
Heads-up tackling, that's the name of the game. Teach the fundamentals correctly.
So I can truly look at a parent who has those questions and say, here's what we've done.
It's the ability to directly address those men and women who volunteer their time to help the next generation of football players.
And the final step of Heads Up Football is the player safety coach continuing to work with the coaches throughout the season. Are they practicing it properly? Are they reducing helmet contacts during the practice week? And ultimately, are they applying that in the game scenarios?
They're seeing a very distinct improvement and reduction in injury. And I think that says a lot about the program.
If I can have one kid look at me the way I looked at my youth coaches and my high school coaches, that would make this worthwhile to me.
So what happens next? Heads Up Football, rooted in education, is changing behavior for the better. The response from coaches, parents, and players confirms we're heading down the right path, and there is more work to do. In addition to youth football leagues nationwide signing up for Heads Up Football, we are receiving interest from middle and high school programs across the country.
If you're an administrator at a high school, you're being asked the question, how are you making our program safer? What are you doing for my kids? We can answer that now.
This marks the first time that consistent teaching of technique and terminology in football, from youth through high school, is taking place, and that is a significant step forward.
The game has always evolved toward better technique, better teaching, safer play. Heads Up Football is just simply another step in the long history of the game.
And I think with anything, as you evolve, you learn.
If your league is not a Heads Up Football league, then you need to become one.
We want to ensure the health of football for a long time to come, and everyone coming to work together toward that effort. It's a terrific thing to see.
Heads Up Football for a better, safer game.
Hi, my name is Kelly Prestopino and I'm the head cheerleading coach for the Fuquay-Varina Bengals. I look forward to working with you this season. Go Bengals.
Our assistant coaches this year are Tori Rafas, Crystal Beard, and Amanda Pasio. We have openings available for team moms, so if you're interested in getting involved and helping out, please see me. We'd be glad to have you. My email is cheer@fuquayfootball.com, or you can come see me at practice. We have approximately 13 girls registered so far, so we still have space available. If you know anyone who's interested, please send them my way. We will have a parent meeting on July 29th before the first practice at 5:45. I want to go over our expectations and changes that we made this season. Our regular practices will be on Monday and Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 in the field behind Fuquay Elementary School. Our Tuesday practices, we only have 2 of those, are on July 30th and August the 6th from 6 to 7 as well. Our program participates in 3 age-level football games on Saturdays throughout the season. The full squad performs during the Mighty Games, which is the middle game. We have volunteer participation during the mini and peewee games, the first and third games. The thing that we focus on teaching the girls in our program: voice projection, basic cheer motions, and more advanced cheer motions for the older girls. And they also need to learn a little basic football knowledge, because if they don't know what's going on the field, then they don't know which cheers to call. We also learn simple stunts with bases, spots, and flyers. And the whole point of all this is to instill confidence in these young ladies that if they work hard and practice, they can accomplish something amazing together as a team. We have our end-of-year cheer explosion, which is kind of a showcase of the cheerleaders from around the East Wake Football League, on November 3rd in Clayton, and there will be more information to come about that later on. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you this season.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ryan Toney, head mini mite coach of the Bengals. We look forward to seeing you this season. Welcome, Fuquay-Varina Mini Mite Bengal parents. Once again, my name is Ryan Toney, and I have the distinct honor and pleasure of coaching your kids as the head coach for the 4th consecutive year. I'd like to take some time right now and introduce some of our wonderful volunteers that are going to be dedicating a lot of their time and energy over the next 14 to 17 weeks, helping your child and our organization out. Our team moms are an extremely vital part to what we do on a daily basis. They keep us organized. They make sure we're on task and we're focused in what we're doing. They really are a go-between between myself and even between you. So if you have any kind of parent concerns about your child or what's going on, feel free to approach a parent or a team mom. A team mom, and yeah, they can certainly relay that message to me, and we can rectify any situations from there. So Jenny Denton is our first team mom. Heather Brown, second year returning to us again. Megan Stevens, her second year in the program, so she'll definitely be able to help us out as well. And then Renita McCrae, her child, in her second year in the program too. So take time out, introduce yourselves to these wonderful volunteers. Let them know who you are and that you appreciate all their time and dedication in helping us out. I'm going to move on to the assistant coaches. I can't say enough about these gentlemen here, their commitment and the time that they're going to be taking during the course of the year. So what you see on the field is not always what you see in the amount of time and effort that these gentlemen are going to be putting in over the next 14 to 17 weeks. We spent countless hours off the field prepping, preparing, watching different demos and videos to make sure that we're putting a quality product on the field and your child is in a safe environment and learning the game of football. Returning to me for the fourth year as our offensive coordinator, and my right-hand individual is Paul Kaplar. Second year with us as an assistant coach, Dwayne Schliesman. Returning also, it's his fourth year in the program, but second with the Mini Mites, Sean Daniels. Chris Swinson, he's been a parent with us for the last 3 years, and this will be his first year joining us on the sidelines as a coach. David McCrae, another individual, his second year in the program, first with us in a coaching capacity. Stephen Cutler, his first year with the program and first year as an assistant. Aaron Seymour and Will Crocker, both returning. Aaron, his second season as a parent, but first year as a coach. Will Crocker, this is his third year with the program and first as a coach. So as you can see, we have plenty of assistants to help us out this year. We have 40 plus children on the roster, so we're definitely going to need the individuals that are coming out there and helping us out. So let's talk a little bit about what we expect from our individuals. So attendance, coming to the program, the first 2 weeks, it is 5 days a week. Training, conditioning, getting acclimated to the heat, the weather, the equipment, learning a lot of different skills and fundamentals that are important that are going to carry them on throughout the remainder of the year. So the expectation is you attend all practices. I do understand that there are special circumstances that do arise. Please notify me and let me know those situations if your child is not going to be at practice. So I know I've talked to some of you already about different camps and stuff that are going on in August, and you'll miss a few days here. So we certainly understand that again. But once those 2 weeks are done, practice schedule will be 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Games will be on Saturday. Again, expectation is you do attend all practices. There are a lot of things that we go over in practice. Your child will be missing key and vital things. Repetition is also important. And then competition, if you think about, we have 41 children on the roster and we're not seeing your child showing up in practice, that just means it's missed opportunity for the coaches to see the true potential of your child and what they can do, which means that can also impact the amount of playing time on the field that your child has. Again, just from a safety perspective, if we're not sure what they can do in practice, then we're not sure what they can do in a game, and we don't want to put any children in any kind of situations where not only can they hurt themselves on the field, but the potential to hurt any other players. Behavior. Obviously, we're looking for good conduct from the individuals, and what does good conduct mean? Well, you're being a good team player. You're showing sportsmanship. You're coachable. That is a huge factor. The child having the ability to listen and pay attention to what the coaches are telling them to do. We have certain systems that we put in place. We have certain plays that we do for a specific reason. We have certain schemes on defense and how we run stuff that we're asking kids to do things for a reason. We're never going to ask your child to do something that isn't important, whether that's during the conditioning aspect or how to play a position. There is a reason that we do the specific things that we do, and we've had a tremendous amount of success over the last 3 years doing it the way we do. So again, we're looking for coachability and good conduct in a child. I will mention that not every kid can carry the ball, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. Obviously, the kids are student athletes, so we want to teach them all the way from the beginning at a young age how to conduct themselves on and off the field. If your child's grades are slipping or they're not getting their homework done, please make us aware. There's something that we can do here on the field. Maybe we can restrict or limit playing time. We can dangle that carrot in front of them and let them know that, hey, school always comes first. You need to get your stuff done. And you need to still be able to come to practice. And that's part of being a student athlete and what they're going to have to do if they continue playing through middle school, junior varsity, high school, and even maybe someday into college. So we want to start that early and making sure that they understand these things. Positions. So we have, again, 40, 41 kids on the field. And, not every child can touch the ball. Not every child will touch the ball. Not every child will be a running back or quarterback or a wide receiver. Just to reiterate, not every child will touch the ball here. Not every child will have the opportunity to be a running back or quarterback. The idea behind that is we're not here to crush a child's dream, okay? But there are certain instances where there are kids that are going to be more athletic or they're going to be faster at this particular time. But we can develop your child. The important thing is getting on the field. That's the important step, and that's something I encourage you to talk to your child about. If they have dreams or aspiration to be a quarterback and that's just not a fit for them this year, that's fine. That's okay. Maybe it's going to be next year, maybe it's the year after. Kids develop at different rates. The important thing is getting on the field. We're looking for team players that just get on the field and want to play football. Think about a running back or something. Coaches like versatility. So if there's a position for them to help us block on the line for the current running backs, that's a plus, right? Coaches want running backs that can block as well as take the ball and run. Okay, so we need to think about that, and we're looking for team players who just want to play some football and get on the field. When it comes to playing time, this organization is extremely blessed. Over the last couple of years, especially this year with the amount of kids that we have that have decided to sign up and participate. That's not the case across the league. There is a fifth quarter. So kids who are still learning and still developing and just not quite ready for the regular game, those games will begin at 4 o'clock. They go to about 4:25 or 4:30. A lot of instances when we get to other stadiums or other teams join at our home field, we will ask them if they want to start 5Q earlier. Our goal is to get these kids as many repetitions as possible that we can do in a game experience to help them improve. If you talk to parents from the year before, you will see improvement from kids who are 5Q one year who come back the next year, and it's leaps and bounds difference of what they've done. You can talk to parents who have seen their kids come up, and by the end of the season, they're getting really, really good, and we're excited when we have them come back the following year. So there's nothing to be discouraged about if your child is still in the developmental area or 5Q. We've had plenty of children also who have developed, and by mid-season they have earned their way and developed enough to get in the regular game and work their way off the 5Q. So there's plenty of opportunities for the kids to learn and do these things. As a coaching staff, we're never looking at a child and saying, how do we make sure that kid doesn't get on the field? That's not what we do. We're here to compete. We're here to win football games, and we're looking for the kids who are ready to play in a safe manner that we can get out there and help us do that. The regular game, the main game, that starts at 4:30. It is 4 quarters long. It is 11-on-11. We're allowed a coach on the field for offense. As I mentioned before, Paul Kapler, our offensive coordinator, he's under an offense, and we'll figure out who's going to be on the field during the defensive portion. So we are allowed to have that. There is a mercy rule. So if any team gets up by 28 points, the game is technically over. We do finish playing it out, but the clock goes to a continuous running clock, and that's when we start subbing the other kids in during that portion of the game to get them additional playing time. During practice, as we're coming into this in the next couple of weeks, I know I've talked to you a lot about this. We are going to push the kids pretty hard. We don't do it in an unhealthy way, but when you have 41, 6, 7, and 8-year-olds, you really have to put the gas pedal on. We need to implement discipline, organization, and understand that they really need to focus and pay attention to what they're doing, because a lot of it has to do with safety, and football is a disciplined sport. Right, so when they're in lines, they're not fooling around. When they're running, we're actually running. We're doing things that we need to do. If we have to run sprints, they're running hard. If we're running through drills, they're doing those drills in a manner that's appropriate and at full speed. Full speed. That's if they're not doing it full speed, that's when injuries tend to occur. So we will push them pretty hard. And again, if you talk to returning parents, there is an inherent difference when you see us take the field versus some of the other teams. And this discipline that we instill in the kids and the dedication, the determination, the perseverance, all those different things really make a difference when we start playing tougher teams and when we start getting deep into playoffs. It helps us win those football games when we do that. So again, I will address more of this as we go on in the next couple of weeks. I will do another parent meeting with you guys Monday. Once we kick practice off and get it running, I will talk to you guys about a few things. So I will stay in communication with you and answer questions or concerns that you may have. You can see my email address in the slide, minicoach@fuquayfootball.com. My phone number is also there. You can send me text messages or give me a call at 919-622-5124. I will tell you there is a 24-hour rule. We ask you to do this, that if there is something that you see that you do not like or have a concern, please kind of sleep on it, take a step back, wait 24 hours before you send an email or we have a call and a conversation. So with that being said, guys, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been honored to be a part of this program for the last 6 years and extremely honored to have the opportunity to be the head coach of your kids. We do get attached to them over the next several months. It is sad when the season ends, but we've had a lot of success over the last years, and I anticipate having that same success this year and playing in November and trying to have another successful season and finishing it the right way. So, with that being said, guys, I welcome you to the program. We're excited to have you, and we'll see you on Monday.
Hi, my name is Napoleon Mills. I'm the head coach for the Mighty Mites. I'm looking forward with working with your kids this season.
Hey parents, my name is Coach Napoleon Mills. I've been with the program now for about 7 years, and I've had many players come through this program that now are playing at the middle school or high school level. So I'm looking forward to coaching your kids and getting them to that next level to play at the Pee Wee level and to continue that level at the middle school and the high school. I want to introduce my coaches. This year, my offense coordinator would be Sean Ziegler. My defense coordinator would be Eddie Williams Jr. My special team coach would be Milton DeVille. My assistant coaches would be Leroy Hagee and Terrence Cummins. As for team moms, we have Jessica Kapler, Lisa Poteet, Carolyn Harris, and Stacy Swinks. Now I want to cover a few things that my expectation is going to be for the players this year. And one thing I want to talk about is attendance. Please have the players there on time. It starts at 6 o'clock and it ends at 8. I expect for the players to be there at least 10 to 15 minutes before 6, so we can have everybody there and take roll. And when 6 o'clock roll in, that we start practice. Also, make sure the players are prepared. Make sure they have the helmet, the shoulder pads, the mouthpiece, the cleats. I've seen many kids leave their equipment at home, which they have to wait until their parents to go back to the house, get their equipment, and this disrupt our practice. And to prevent this disruption, please make sure they are prepared when they come to practice. Also, make sure the kids are drinking water or Gatorade throughout the day. So it's going to be very hot and they need to stay hydrated. Just encourage them starting this weekend to start drinking water and to continue drinking water throughout the day. The next 2 weeks is going to be very hot and we're going to be conditioning, so they're going to need to be hydrated to be safe. Behavior, good conduct, good sportsmanship, and respect. This is what we encourage in all the kids. We want them to respect themselves, respect the players, respect their teammates, the coaches, the parents, the teachers. We want them to show good behavior on and off the field. And parents, if the players are acting out at school or acting out at home, please let me know and we will work it out on the field. My coaching staff and I believe that players are students first and athletes second, so we encourage them to do well in school. I talk to the players all the time about, what your grades are and how you're doing in school. So that's going to be something I'll be asking them. So if they are not doing well in school, you can definitely bring that to me out on the field as well. And I will definitely have a discussion with the player. Positions, we'll be looking at all the players the first 2 weeks of practice, and we'll be analyzing the data that we gather, and we would put players in position that's going to be beneficial to the team. I know everybody want to be quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers, but the most important, I think, positions on the field is my linemen. Without my linemen, I don't think nothing can happen. So you just encourage your kid that wherever they playing at is important to the team. It doesn't matter where they at. They can be running back, they can be a quarterback, they can be a defensive end, linebacker, lineman, wherever they at is going to be important to the team. And we have looked at their skills, and their skill set is going to be best for that position. Playing time for the new parents, we allow a minimum of four plays. That's either on offense or defense. But I try my best to get all the kids in and some playing time. So I haven't had a problem with the playing time yet, but I'm just making you aware that if your child get 4 plays, and that is the minimum playing time that we're allowed to give your child. If you want to talk about the playing time after the game, just make sure you give me 24 hours. And give yourself a chance to calm down, and we can discuss it. Okay? My contact information here, you can email me at mightycoach@fuquayfootball.com, or you can text me or call me at 919-410-1902. Now, I usually answer my texts a lot quicker than my emails. So if you have something urgent, or if you're going to be late to practice, or if you're going to be late to a game, please text me and let me know ahead of time. All righty. This concludes my slide. And if you have any questions, I will just come up to me today and I will answer any questions that you may have. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to the 2019 season with you and your child. Goodbye.
Hi, my name is Scott Fowler. I'm the Pee Wee head coach, and we'll go through a few slides here to tell you about our values in the Pee Wee organization and just what you can expect for the season. Hi, folks. Again, my name is Scott Fowler. I'm the head coach and offensive coordinator for the Pee Wee program. I've been coaching in the East Wake League for 7 seasons, and this will be my 8th season. And this will also be my 4th year as the Pee Wee head coach. Just to give you, sort of a history of where I came from in the Pee Wee with the Pee Wee team. My first year, we barely made the playoffs, but were very successful compared to the Pee Wee teams of previous seasons. In our second year, we solidly made the playoffs as a divisional runner-up, and got into the playoffs as the runner-up in our division. In our third year, again, we were division runner-up last year, and advanced to the second round of the playoffs. So each year, you can see we've had progressively better results in a very tough league. I believe the East Wake League is the toughest league in the state, or among the toughest for sure. And so, but each year we've gotten better, and we expect to take the next step this year, and again get better in terms of our overall results. Team mom this year is Leslie Stone. She's been with the program for a few years, and is very knowledgeable, so she can help you with any questions that you might have. As you can see there, we're currently looking for other moms that might be willing to assist her. There are plenty of opportunities to volunteer. In terms of the coaching crew, this year we have a new crew of Pee Wee coaches, and I couldn't be more excited about the coaches that are joining us. We have Josh Stamer as a former NFL player, and he's going to be our defensive coordinator. Has a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball, so I'm excited to have him. Sam Klein, most of you probably know him. He's been coaching with us and the town for several years, so he has a great reputation for coaching as well as mentoring kids. Joe Hoover is the son of nearly everyone's favorite coach and one of the program founders, Harry Hoover. So we're excited to have Joe. He's played football for the Fuquay-Varina High School Bengals, and a lot of experience on the offensive line that we're excited to have, and obviously great to have another member of the Hoover family in the program. Peter Gumar is so Coach Pete played football at the semi-pro level, so he's also very experienced and a great addition to our strong center team here. He's got experience with special teams and a lot of things that we're going to take advantage of. For the Pee Wee team, like all other teams, we will stress safety through proper fundamentals and use of USA Football's heads-up tackling among USA Football's other safety-oriented recommendations. So one of the things that I'm fond of pointing out to the teams that I coach is there's really 2 ways to have a lot of fun playing football. One is just to let the kids goof off and do whatever it is they want to do. The other that I prefer to pursue is to actually improve skills and have success on game day. So that's what we're going to aim to do. Is not just have kids running around doing what they want to do, but they have to be engaged and they have to be willing to work and be coachable. As coaches, our goal is to get the very best from the players that we have on the team. We're committed as a coaching staff to working towards that goal for every player at every practice. So, we want to help every player on this team be the best football player that they can be, and frankly, the best person that they can be. And with that in mind, one of the main contributors to getting the most out of a team is team chemistry. I believe, and I've seen this in the past, and I will preach about it all season. That teammates that play for each other, when they're playing, for something bigger than themselves, when they're playing for their team, they're playing for each other, they have a chance. They have a chance against any team out there. And that's one of the things I'm very passionate about. Another thing that I'm very passionate about is character development. You may have heard about it already, or if you're a returning player, you know about our Pee Wee Foundations program. Each week, we will discuss one of the topics in the lower 4 tiers of the triangle that I'm showing, the foundation triangle that I'm showing in the picture here. Each week we have a topic that we'll discuss. Players will have homework each week that they need to review and prepare. It's nothing hard. It's just a video they need to watch and some questions they need to think about, or maybe it's an article they need to read or something like that. But it's it's literally 10 or 15 minutes at the most. When I started the Pee Wee Foundation program as my first year as the Pee Wee head coach, I thought for sure that when practices we started running out of time and we got into the heat of the season, I thought for sure that we would find a way to skip the foundation discussion. And I'm proud to say that over the 3 years that I've been doing this, we have never missed a Pee Wee Foundation discussion. We might run a little late on our the last practice of the week, or whenever we're doing the discussion, but we don't miss it. It's that important to me. It's that important for these kids to not just take away football skills from this, but to take away life skills, the things that they're learning on the football field that apply to everyday life. They apply to their life at school and their life at home, and their life as they move on to the next, whatever the next phase of life for them might be. So what can you expect from us? Well, we will stress character, as I said in the previous slide. We will stress character and effort on the football field as well as the classroom. I will, there will be times where I'll be, talking about how this applies, whatever lesson we're talking about, how it applies to the classroom. So we will stress that as well. We will stress team contribution. Again, I can't stress that enough. Team over self, and that ability to recognize that you're doing things for a team, not for yourself, and having that selflessness to look at your team and consider that above yourself. We'll stress great fundamentals. We're going to be working on fundamentals every practice, and it's something that when you have great fundamentals, good things happen for the team. Coaches want kids that are coachable, and kids that don't give excuses when things don't go right. What we want to see from kids is that they accept their mistakes and learn from it. They're not pointing the finger at somebody else. They're not making excuses for why things didn't go right. They're looking at what went wrong. How can I fix it? How can I learn from it? How can I be better next time? So those are the things that we look for. That's what you can expect. We're going to compete in practice. We're going to, it's going to be fast paced. We're going to be, trying to get these kids to have more reps in practice than the teams we face on Saturday. I'm a firm believer that if we can get more reps than the team down the street, we're going to have more success. So lots of reps and lots of competitions, and getting better every single practice. So what can you do as a parent? One of the big things is having your player at practice on time. Players at this age, obviously they can't drive themselves to practice, so if they're late for practice, that's typically on you. That said, I'm just as guilty as anybody. Sometimes I get to practice and I'm coming in on 2 wheels and late, so that's something that I deal with as well. But that's a big thing. Volunteer, by all means. There are plenty of opportunities that Kelly outlined earlier, and if there's some way that you can assist our team or be a team mom, by all means do that. And then if you'd like to help out as a photographer or videographer for the team, please let Leslie know or let me know, and we'll try to get you plugged in. Thanks for your time today, and look forward to seeing you Monday at practice.
All right, this is one of my favorite quotes from Coach Lombardi, and we believe this. It's the combined efforts of all all of our participants, volunteers, parents, and kids that make this organization successful. So we appreciate any help you can give, and we want to see another great season of positive energy and success. Thank you. All right, this brings us to the end of our presentation. As I said at the beginning, this presentation will be on loop, so if you came in a little bit late, just hang tight. We're going to have a video on the Chuck Noll Game of Life Award that was assembled by Ty Ziegler last season, and that'll roll for a few minutes, and then the entire presentation will begin again. Throughout the season, grab a coach, grab a mom, grab one of the administration. We are happy to help you and share what we've learned, how we want to operate, etc. And again, we appreciate you being part of our program, and we look forward to a really great season. Thank you, and go Bengals.
Hi, my name is Ty Ziegler, and our family has been a part of the Strong Center for Excellence for 5 years now. My husband, Sean, is a football coach. My son, Malcolm, has now aged out of the program. My daughter, Reagan, and my son, Matthew, they still have a few more years left. But I thought I would share with you football through the eyes of a football mom. Football. There has been lots of talk over the years. It is my goal to share the positive impact that the Strong Center for Excellence in Football has made on my family. Football. It is a commitment not only for the players, but for the coaches and parents. It takes commitment to show up on hot summer nights and on cold fall evenings. The commitment of playing and coaching a sport when you are passionate breeds discipline, focus, and drive that goes beyond playing football. In my opinion, it teaches kids that if you want to be great at anything, you must first be committed to putting in the work, disciplined enough to make the sacrifices, and prepared to overcome the obstacles, all while focusing on the desired outcome. The commitment required for football is the beginning of developing leaders of influence in our community and also in our world. The Strong Center continues to push our kids to be the best that they can be. It is important that coaches build kids up, all while pushing them to be their best, to do their best, and to learn from their mistakes. Many times on the fields, players can be intimidated by coaches, other teams, and sometimes lose confidence in their own abilities. Our coaches and staff are sensitive to understanding the needs of the players collectively and individually. I am proud to say that even in tough times, they teach our kids to be courageous and never give them permission to quit. These lessons will continually impact our kids in the years to come by always encouraging them to be their best self and to look fear in the face, all while persevering and overcoming to make their dreams reality. On our team, excellence is not an option, it is a requirement. Our organization strives to instill in each child that when you show up and give your best at practice, that your hard work will pay off. The term "you play like you practice" is a saying that you will often hear from our coaches. Our coaching staff takes pride in teaching our kids to do things the right way, especially when it comes to safety on the field. There are countless hours spent teaching the proper ways to tackle. Excellence is also demonstrated through teaching our kids to have a positive attitude no matter the outcome. Good sportsmanship is required to be a Bengal. The standard of excellence set by this organization will impact our kids in the years to come. In life, there are no shortcuts. The shortcuts taken will later lead to many problems down the road, while excellence and doing things right builds character, integrity, and a great leader. The respect that our parents have for our coaches and the staff is what keeps people coming back and what continues to bring new faces to the program. The atmosphere of family created by this program is what continues to unite the coaches, players, parents, and community to make the Strong Center for Excellence and football more than a sport. It's changing lives, bringing families together, impacting our community, and helping develop our boys into men that will be the leaders of tomorrow. Football, a sport driven to make a positive impact on everyone that it reaches.